Hey Mary C. Williams friends, it's Miss Britt here. I wanted to jump on here and do a reading passage with you. Now this is not one of the passages that I sent home, but I wanted to try out this new tool that I've been working with called Screencast-O-Matic. So I'm going to test this out today and create a video to share with you about the Tokyo Summer Olympics that are scheduled to happen this year, but they have just been postponed until 2021. Now this article that we're about to read together is written by Newsela. So News, ELA, is a resource that I love to use for reading passages because they focus on passages that have to do with current events. So since this just happened, this article has been posted. Now, this image that you see here is an image of the Olympic rings, and the caption underneath states, "The Olympic rings in front of the new National Stadium in Tokyo, Japan on March 24th, 2020. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach has agreed 100% to the proposal of postponing the Tokyo Olympics for about 1 year until 2021 because of the coronavirus outbreak. Japanese Prime Minister," I looked this name up to make sure that I knew how to pronounce it, Abe Shinzo. It doesn't look that way, but that's how it's said to pronounce it. Abe Shinzo said on March 24th. This photo was taken by Ja Si-hong. The original article was written by the Associated Press, and Newsela, this news ELA, adapted the original article to be suitable for children. It was published on 3/25, which is today, and it has 631 words. It is appropriate for upper elementary school students or middle school students, and technically the text level is around grade 5. Before we get started into the meat of the passage, which is all of the writing, I wanted to go over a couple of vocabulary words with you. The first is Olympics. You should be somewhat familiar with this word from school because Mr. P held the Red Hawks Williams Olympics on our very last day of school. The Olympics are international sporting events, and international means between nations. Delayed, it means to be postponed or when something is happening later. The Paralympics sounds like Olympics, and the only difference between the Paralympics and the Olympics are that the athletes involved in the Paralympics are athletes that have a range of disabilities. The next word is criticize. Criticize is when you find fault in something or you judge someone or something. You guys may think of the word roast. When you roast someone, you're criticizing them or you're judging them. And then the torch relay is a ceremony where the torch is moved from Greece to the location of the Olympic Games. This year, the Olympic Games were set to be held in Tokyo, Japan, but they are going to be postponed. They're still going to happen in Tokyo, but they're just postponed. And then another word that you're going to come across is pandemic. And a pandemic is when something is widespread, and in this case, it is the widespread disease of the coronavirus. All right, let's get started. On March 24th, the Tokyo Olympics that were going to take place this summer were delayed or postponed until 2021. The announcement ended weeks of guessing about whether the games would go ahead as scheduled. Concern over the coronavirus pandemic fueled the decision. Coronavirus is a flu-like illness. It began in China, and it has been spreading across the globe since December 2019. Health officials have been encouraging social distancing. This means staying home and staying away from other people to help slow the spread of the virus. The International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, issued this statement. The group consulted with the Japanese Prime Minister and local organizers. So it was set to happen in Tokyo, and it has been postponed due to the coronavirus outbreak. And we have all been practicing social distancing here in the United States, here in North Carolina, and right here where we all live, because currently school is closed and we are only leaving our house to go do necessary things. The next section, Prime Minister Abe recommended postponement. The IOC said the games will be held no later than summer 2021. They will still be called the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, even though they're going to be held in 2021. The statement said the decision was based on information from the World Health Organization. Also, there were conversations between IOC President Thomas Bach and Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo. The IOC said that rescheduling Tokyo Olympics was necessary. That means they needed to do it. They want to safeguard the health of the athletes, everybody involved in the Olympic Games, and the international community. So it was important that they postpone it to keep from spreading the virus and to help all the athletes stay safe and all the people that are involved in working the Olympic Games, as well as the international community that would have come to see the actual Olympic Games. Before the announcement, Abe proposed a one-year postponement, and Bach agreed. President Bach said that he will agree 100%. We agree to hold the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics in the summer of 2021 at the latest, Abe said. He added that next year's games would be proof of a victory by human beings against the coronavirus. He is just saying that by 1 year that we're going to have victory over the coronavirus. Next section. IOC wanted to go ahead with the games. On March 22nd, Bach said a decision on the games would be made in the next month. However, pressure on the organization grew. National federations and sports governing bodies spoke out against having the opening ceremony as planned on July 24th. Athletes voiced their concerns as well. Four-time Olympic hockey champion Haley Wickenheiser was the first athlete to speak out. She objected to Bach's position that the game should go ahead as planned. Wickenheiser publicly criticized the IOC. And remember, the IOC is the International Olympic Committee. After the announcement to delay the game, she posted on social media site Twitter. She wrote that the decision was the message athletes deserve to hear, meaning that she thought it was very important that the message come out that the games were going to be postponed for the health and safety of the athletes who participated, plus the health and safety of their families. To all the athletes, take a breath, regroup, take care of yourself and your families. Your time will come, she wrote. Your time will come just means that you'll have your opportunity to participate and prevail, possibly win. The decision to delay came only a few hours after local organizers said the torch relay would start as planned on March 26th, which would be tomorrow. It was expected to start in the northeastern, I looked this word up, it does not sound at all like it is written. It was expected to start in the northeastern Grishima region of Japan. There was to be no torch bearers, and no public. Those plans also changed. The flame will be stored and displayed in Grishima, said Yoshiro Mori. He is president of the organizing committee. The next section, a beacon of hope to the world. What is a beacon? And what do you think a beacon of hope to the world is? Pause the video and discuss it with someone near you. Well, a beacon is could be a lighthouse, right? It's typically when you put a light up kind of high and it serves as a signal to someone. So he's saying that hopefully this will be a beacon of hope to the world, so a light of hope to the world. The Olympics have never before been postponed. They have only ever previously been canceled in wartime. That intrigued me, so I wanted to know when the Olympics had been canceled, so I looked it up. The actual Olympics, the first modern games, were held in 1896. And then after that, the only times that the Olympics have been canceled were in 1916. The Summer Olympics were canceled due to World War I. World War I lasted from 1914 to 1918. And then the Olympics were again postponed in 1940 and 1944 due to Nazi invasion of World War II. The World War II took place from 1939 to 1945. Organizers will now have to keep things running for another year. They will need to make sure venues are kept up to date because they were pretty much prepared. So now everything that they prepared for, because it was the official torch relay ceremony was supposed to start tomorrow. So now they've got to keep everything up to date and make sure that it stays maintained so that it is ready when we can have the Olympics next year. A lot can happen in 1 year. We have to think about what we have to do, said Toshiro Mudo, a member of the organizing committee. The decision came upon us all of a sudden. The IOC and Tokyo organizers said they hope the decision to delay will be helpful. They hope this change will help the world heal from the pandemic. The leaders agreed that the Olympic Games in Tokyo could be an inspiration. The Games could be a beacon of hope to the world during these troubled times. The Olympic flame could become the light at the end of the tunnel, the IOC statement said. Therefore, it was agreed that the Olympic flame will stay in Japan. It was also agreed that the Games will keep the name Olympic and Paralympic Games Tokyo 2020. This article is copyright from the Associated Press. So I want you to think about this article, and I want you to think about why they postponed it. We've talked about it a little bit, why they postponed it, and why you think that may or may not be important. Do you agree with their decision to postpone it? Do you disagree with their decision to postpone it? Post your response on Class Dojo through the assignments tab or through Messenger or on your portfolio page. I will talk to you soon. Miss you guys so much.